Hey guys, just wanted to share with you just a really short practice that you can do easily throughout your day, whether it is in the morning or the afternoon. Just a practice that's dedicated to creating some freedom within the body, within the breath, moving throughout the entire body. And specifically this morning, a little focus in on the pelvis and as well as the side body. So I hope you enjoy. Going to try to keep it relatively short and sweet. So maybe about a 20-ish minute practice. So let's dive in. Going to start out on our backs today. Just go ahead and come down. We'll get ready for a bridge pose version. But before we do that, let's place one hand over top of the belly and the second hand over top of the heart. And then just close your eyes down so we can take our first few moments here together to come into the breath. So I don't know about you guys, but I do find myself predominantly breathing into my belly these days. So today what I really need is the reminder to move the breath all the way up towards the heart. And even past that, I want us to focus today on moving the breath into the upper back. So as you have the hand over across the heart, you can even move it more towards the center of the body. So placing it on the chest or across the sternum. And then imagining the space behind the hand, behind the sternum, connecting right directly to the spine. Just imagine that space in the body using the mind's eye. And let's begin to direct the breath up into the shoulder blades. Knowing that that is going to be a part of our focus here today. To create that full body experience where the breath becomes this 360 effect in the body, moving into every cell, every muscle. So let's take a nice big breath in, fill up through the nose. When you're ready, just open the mouth and softly release, let it go. You can flutter the eyes open. Before we go right into our bridge pose, let's just start to gently wake up the core. So we'll keep the feet down, but interlace the hands behind the head. Have the elbows point straight up towards the sky. So we got a nice little support here for the neck. Take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, lift the head and the shoulders off the mat. And then inhale, lower back down. And we do that again, nice and slow. Exhale, lift, head and shoulders come up. And inhale, release. Really drawing out the breath here. Exhale, lift. This time, let's reach the left hand up towards the sky. So really see if you can pull the shoulder blade off the mat and continue to support the back of the head with the right hand. So adding a little layer here to the core. Let's rebend the elbow and then release down. And switching sides. Exhale, release or lift up. Reaching the right hand up towards the sky. Lift the shoulder blade. And then back to center. Inhale, release. Adding on again, this time exhale, lift up. Left hand goes high, but take a gentle twist towards the right. So it's kind of like you're reaching up towards the sky as well to maybe the top corner of the room that you're in. And then back to center, release down. Exhale, lift up, nice and slow. Right hand reaches. Let's take a gentle twist to the left. See if you can really reach that right shoulder blade off. And then back to center, release down. One more each side, nice and slow. Exhale, lift. Left hand goes high, twisting to the right, lifting both shoulder blades, finding that gentle angle, and then back to center, release down. Final cycle here. Exhale, lift. Right hand goes high, shoulder blades lift as we twist to the left side, and then back to center, release it down. All right, bridge pose. Get the feet set, hip distance apart. And then let's start to lift the hips up. So we start by lifting the tailbone and then the low back, then the mid back. Keep the hands on the belly and the ribs. So I want you to remember to pull down towards the mat. Right? Instead of puffing or flaring the ribs and the belly out, we want to contain and draw in. Keep the pelvis neutral, keep the spine nice and contained. Now start to squeeze the glutes. So I really want you to grip here with the glutes without flaring the knees off towards the sides. If you had like a little dial in your hand and you're thinking of engagement into the glutes, let's dial it up to a 10. So really active. And then we're going to reach both hands overhead. So lengthening. If that feels okay for the shoulders. If it doesn't, just reach the hands up towards the sky. We're going to come over towards the left fingertips. We'll stretch out the fingertips. So we're still in our bridge pose, using the help of the right hand, stretching the left forearm out just by gently pulling the fingertips back. And then go ahead, switch sides, come over to the right fingertips, gently pull back, stretch out the wrists. So continue to invite the breath into the side body, into the rib cage, all this length here. Let's take one more full breath in. And then exhale, go ahead, softly release down. Now let's make our way up to a seated shape. So you can just rock and roll, or you can come towards the side, and then we'll pivot all the way around. We'll continue to dive into our practice today. We'll start right in a tabletop, connecting here to the core, pushing the earth away. And then I want you to notice if you are instantly rounding into the upper back, let's take some of that rounding out. Try to imagine the shoulder blades connecting into space here so they're nice and neutral. Arms stay straight, and then let's extend. Left leg goes back behind. We'll push through the heel, flex the toes, and then reach the right hand forward. So our two-limb table. We'll take a big breath in. On the exhale, tap the knee and elbow, but don't round here. Keep the head lifted, and try not to change the shape in the shoulders. Right? Inhale, re-lengthen, and then exhale, tap. All right, two more like that. This is a nice standard yoga flow shape. So nothing crazy out of the norm here, but just focusing more on not dropping the head. All right, last one here. Let's re-lengthen. We'll hold this length, but we're going to cactus the right elbow. So the elbow lines up with the shoulder, and then just take that left foot slightly off the rails. We're continuing to keep the hips square, and then little pulses here through that right arm and the back leg. Trying not to drop the head and keeping that strength, that containment in the core. Last three, final two, and then one. Release down, tabletop shape. Tent the fingertips, get off the wrists. Cat cow, drop the belly, lift the heart. Full breath in, and then exhale, go ahead and round. One more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Back to center, lower the palms down. When you're ready, right leg goes back behind you, we lengthen, and then the left fingertips go forward. Before we move, let's make sure we're not dropping the low belly down and that the head is still staying lifted. So we got a lot of space through the front of the throat. Take a full breath in, and then exhale. We tap at center without rounding in. Three more. Inhale. Exhale. You got it. Last two, just moving with your rhythm here, getting a little bit extra kind of mobility into the hip at the same time as we warm up the core. Last one, once you re-lengthen, let's hold it here. We cactus the left arm, elbow in line with the shoulder, and then take the right leg just slightly off the rails. Continue to pulse here through the front arm, the back leg, little movement here. Last three, two, and then one. Release it down, tabletop shape. Pop to the fingertips, and then flush it out. Cat cow, drop the belly, and lift the heart. Exhale, round. Last cycle, just gently moving with your breath. Lower the hands down. We're going to tuck the toes and just push yourself into a little forward fold at the back of the mat. So we'll lift up here onto the feet. Keep the knees nice and bent. So we're in a deep squat and the hands can rest down. Relax the head. So really, this is all about getting into the backs of the legs. The belly should be resting on the thighs. So it's a really deep bend here into the knees. Our focus is now the pelvis. So we're really quite hinged here at the hips. Start to walk the hands back towards the feet and use the help of the hands. We'll massage into the legs as we rise all the way up. So using the hands, pushing down and then lifting up. So let's do a check-in. I think during this time, if we can continue to improve our practice or improve our experience on our mat, it's going to really make these next few months feel extra good. So when we talk about the pelvis and practices a lot, you hear a teacher cue hinging at the hip. So this is a good way to check in. So take your fingers, we're going to place them right between the hip creases and then just start to bend the knees. So you're going to use the help of the fingers to actually push the hips back in space and then gently fold down. So that's a hinge from the hips. All right, let's rise all the way back up again. Keep the knees bent, push into the feet, reach the hands high. Full breath in. Exhale, bring the fingertips towards the hip creases. Use the fingers to push the hips back. Hinge as you fold forward. Come back towards the earth. Bend the knees, land the hands, and walk the fingertips forward. High push-up pose. Holding here into your plank shape. You always have the option to lower the knees down. If you want to amp it up with me, we're going to hover the right toes off the earth. Point the toes, and then release it down. Switch sides, right toes lift as we point and lengthen through the top of the head, and then we lower down. Right? Drop the knees towards the earth. Dial the hands out in opposite directions so the biceps point to the top of the mat and the triceps towards the legs. Take a big breath in. Without dropping the head, we slowly lower to the earth by bending the elbows. Coming down to the belly, lengthen out the legs, tops of the feet push down. Squeeze the glutes. Inhale, rise into cobra. Continue to pull the low belly in here, and then exhale, release. Push to the knees, and we'll find our downward facing dog, using the core to lift the hips up and back. Let's rise onto the toes, bend the knees, look forward, hop or walk, top of the mat. Rise to stand, bend the knees, root down and lengthen towards the sky as you reach. And then exhale, we fold right away, hinge from the hips. Step the left foot back, low lunge shape. We're gonna lower the left knee down. Keep the left palm down, should be directly underneath the shoulder. If you need a block under the hand, you can just grab that now, and then we're gonna reach the right hand up towards the sky. Let's linger here, and if it's okay for the neck, drop the left ear towards the shoulder. And as we hang out here, I want you to send the breath into the upper back. That full body experience, we let the breath flow. 2 more cycles of breath. Final one. And then releasing down. We'll tuck the back toes if they're not already. And we're gonna pivot towards the left, finding a side lunge. If the hands can come down towards the earth, keep them there. We're still hinging here, so if you need help reminding your hips or pelvis what to do, take the left fingers, push it into the hip crease to make sure you're sitting back into the left glute. With the fingertips or the palms down, we're gonna really round into the upper back so the shoulder blades start to separate, little rounding without changing the shape of the head or the low back. And then let's drop the chest down towards the earth. So we're isolating between the upper back. Do that again 2 more times. Round, the shoulder blades separate. And then exhale, we drop the chest down. We're keeping the arms straight. Last one, movement into the upper back, rounding on the inhale. And then exhale, drop it in. Neutralize, pivot all the way back towards the top of the mat. Frame the front foot, and then it's a 3-legged plank. Right leg sweeps back. Point the toes. Option to lower the knees if you need to. Dial the hands out opposite direction, and then with control, come to the belly. We keep the right toes hovering until we lower down. Now both of the feet, tops of the feet connect. Cobra pose, inhale. And then exhale, fold. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Let the core lead you as we lift the hips up and back. Walk the feet a little closer in towards the hands, and then we bring the hands all the way back towards the feet. Nice deep squat here, bending the knees, belly or ribs towards the thighs. Relax the head down. Holding here. Bring the hands towards the legs, pushing into the legs as we rise up here, using the help of the hands and intending to keep a nice flat back the entire journey. Rising to stand, inhale, reach. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward. Remember your cue. You can use the help of the fingertips if you need to. Let's look to the top of the mat, walk it out, plank pose. Get your containment here. Biceps point to the top of the mat. We squeeze the glutes, a lot of gripping here. The low body is just as active as the shoulders. Hover the left toes up, pointing the toes, and then release them down. Switch sides with right leg, inhale, exhale, release. Option to lower the knees, come to the belly, nice and slow, one long line. Tops of the feet ground, inhale, we rise up, low belly stays lifted, exhale, we fold. Meet in your downward facing dog, hips towards the sky. Land here, we'll stay, big breath in, big breath out. Rise onto the toes, look forward, hop or walk, top of the mat. Bend the knees, grounded to the feet, inhale, sweep to the sky. Exhale, fold right away. Fingertips come down, right foot steps back, low lunge, slowly lower the knee. Right palm underneath the shoulder, left hand goes towards the sky. Holding here, option to drop the right ear towards the shoulder. We land in our breath, trying to send it all the way up between the shoulder blades, imagining the hands here on the chest, like we did at the beginning of our practice, and we want to send the breath into that space. One more big breath in. And then exhale, release. We pivot, side lunge towards the back of the mat. So we drop into the right hip, using the glute, and then get ready. Chest lowers to the earth. Keep the hands straight, and then we round into the upper back. Again, chest lowering down, shoulder blades squeezing together, and then rounding. Do one more cycle to that movement that's dedicated right towards the upper back. When you're done, pivot back, top of the mat. Bring the front foot, and then three-legged plank. Left leg sweeps back. Continue to hover, push the earth away. Try not to drop the head, and with control, we lower to the belly. The right or left toes stay hovering. Untuck both feet, tops of the feet down. Cobra, inhale. Exhale, fold. Push all the way back up, downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Walk the feet closer in towards the hands, and for the last time, we walk the hands back to the feet, hinging at the hips. This time, dropping more into a chair pose, so keeping the chest lifted. And then we're gonna reach the hands up in line with the shoulders. So we got a nice wide base here, protecting the low back. Take a full breath in, and then exhale. We stay in our chair, but just sweep the hands back behind you. All right, inhale, lifting the chest, wrists in line with the shoulders, and then exhale, the hands sweep back. Two more, full breath in, full breath out. Last one here, so we're not rushing this movement, and we're really trying to focus on deepening the breath. This time as we reach forward, ground into the feet, rise to stand, hands up to the sky, and then we release, palms come together right in front of the heart. Close the eyes down. And back to the breath. Start to feel the breath moving through the entire body. Remembering the space between the shoulder blades, our side body here. Let's breathe into all of that space, creating this freedom in the body so that anything that feels a little stuck today, anything that's kind of lingering around, let's move some of that through. When you're ready, we'll gently fold forward, really soft through the knees as we come all the way back down towards the earth. Left fingertips in front of the face, right hand will sweep up towards the sky. Take a big breath in, we gently twist. And then exhale, release down, switch sides, right hand in front of the face, left hand up towards the sky, big breath in. And exhale, fold. Look forward, we walk it out, tabletop shape. Dropping the knees softly towards the earth. And then go ahead, come back to sit onto the heels. For the very last time, we'll close our eyes down. Let's connect here, placing one hand over top of the chest or the heart, one hand over top of the belly. Nice quick way to get a little heat, little energy moving through the body. And coming back to your space with the eyes nice and closed. So if you have a little bit of extra time today, you can go ahead and just linger here for as long as you have. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this short little flow. Have an amazing day, everyone. Can't wait to see you again soon. Bye.